This is the hOmeLabs 3,000 square feet Energy Star Dehumidifier, and it turned a musty, damp basement into a place I actually use without thinking about humidity. The best part is I set a humidity target once, and it quietly keeps the space right where I want it. I see this as a home dehumidifier for medium to large spaces. It has been ideal for my basement, and it is just as comfortable in a laundry area or a big bedroom. I wanted something that would run reliably, not demand constant attention, and not feel like overkill in a smaller room. I have used this exact unit for almost 5 years, and it has settled into my routine like any other dependable appliance. If you have a problem spot that smells a little stale after rain or just feels sticky in the summer, this sits in that category of fix it once and leave it alone. The design is simple in the good way. It is a clean white plastic cabinet with a digital panel on the front, intake on the back, and airflow out the top. It stands around 2 feet tall, so it is not tiny, but it blends in and does not look clunky. The side handles are cutouts you can actually grip, and the wheels roll smoothly on concrete, which matters when you need to nudge it out of the way to sweep or move boxes. The water tank slides straight out from the front and clicks back in with a solid feel. The drain port accepts a standard garden hose, and that one detail is what makes daily life easier, because I do not babysit a water bucket. Setup was uneventful in the best possible way. I took it out of the box, let it stand upright for a while before turning it on, ran a hose to my sump, and that was it. I tapped in my target humidity, turned on the auto mode, and walked away. The interface is straightforward. The buttons are big enough, the screen is legible, and the unit responds immediately to changes. If I tap the fan into the faster setting, I hear it ramp up right away. The filter reminder light has come on a few times over the years, and cleaning the washable filter is just a quick rinse. I have had a few short power flickers during storms, and the machine came right back to its previous setting when the power returned, which saved me a trip downstairs. What matters most is how it pulls water from the air. On paper, it can remove around 35 pints per day. In practice, on a rainy summer day when the basement creeps to something like 65% humidity, I see a steady stream into the sump, and the room drops to around 40% within a few hours. I usually keep my target set low, around 32%, because I like the space extra dry for storage, but anywhere between 30 and 50% feels good. When the sensor reads below my target, the compressor shuts off and the fan settles. It does not do that annoying short cycling where it flips on and off every few minutes. It runs a smooth cycle, dries the space, and then idles until it is needed again. In winter, when the air is already dry, it barely runs at all. Noise is a non-issue for me in a basement setting. I measured it roughly around 50 decibels a couple of times, which just sounds like a steady fan with a soft compressor hum underneath. You will hear it if you stand next to it in a quiet room, and there is a bit of a buzz when the compressor engages, but in a basement or laundry area it fades into the background. When my basement gets cool, I have noticed it pause occasionally, likely to let the coils warm up. It starts again on its own and keeps going. That behavior has not affected how dry the room gets. It just seems like smart protection for the internals. There were a few weeks one summer when storms rolled through every afternoon. That was the most revealing test. I started around the mid-60s in humidity on a sticky evening. I set the machine to run in auto with the faster fan mode. By the time I came back after dinner, the hose was dribbling non-stop and the room already felt less heavy. The concrete floor lost that slightly damp feel, and cardboard boxes that used to curl at the edges stayed flat. The musty odor disappeared within a day and did not come back unless I unplugged the unit for cleaning. When laundry piles up and I am running the dryer, humidity spikes for a bit, the dehumidifier ramps, and the air stays consistent. It is predictable, which is what I wanted. I did try it upstairs once in a guest room during a humid week. No floor drain up there, so I used the water tank. That is when I realized I would not rely on the tank for a big space. It filled quickly, and I had to empty it more often than I would like. The tank does have a clear indicator, and the machine shuts off when the tank is full, so there is no spill risk. Still, continuous drain with a hose is the way to go for long stretches. Rolling it up and down stairs was fine. The wheels and handles make it less awkward than other big dehumidifiers I have moved. Day-to-day use is simple. I set a target, I use auto mode, and it just handles itself. The turbo mode, which is basically the higher fan setting, helps if I want to pull moisture out faster after a rainstorm. The timer is handy if I only want it running at certain hours, like overnight. The filter light is a small thing, but it ensures I actually clean the intake filter instead of forgetting for a year. Those are not flashy features, but they are the ones that matter to me because they reduce the number of decisions I need to make. Energy use has been reasonable. It carries the Energy Star certification, and over several summers of running for long stretches, it has not made a surprise dent in my electric bill. The auto mode saves energy because it shuts down when the room hits the target, and it stays off when the air is already dry. Oversizing concerned me at first. My basement is around 700 square feet, far smaller than the 3,000 square feet rating. I worried that going bigger would mean harder starts and faster wear. That did not happen. The machine does not hammer on and off. It ramps, runs, and rests, and I suspect that is part of why it has lasted this long without a hiccup. Build quality is about what I expect at this size and weight. The plastic panels are not high-end, but I have had zero cracks, zero leaks, and the seams are still tight. The hose connection has not loosened. The tank slides still feel smooth. The only nitpick is the faint compressor buzz that shows up in a very quiet room. It is not loud, just present. Also, there is no built-in pump. If you need to push water up into a sink, this is not the right tool by itself. For a floor drain or a sump pit, it is perfect. For a specific use case, I keep seasonal decorations, old books, and photo boxes downstairs. Before this dehumidifier, those items felt risky to store. Pages would ripple, and cardboard would bow. With the hOmeLabs unit running during humid months, I have not had a single mold spot on a box or a rippled photo sleeve. I even set the humidity a bit lower than most people so the whole storage area stays crisp. It is not glamorous, but it is the difference between worrying about what is down there and forgetting about it entirely. Over almost 5 years, the theme has been peace of mind. It is not flashy. It is not fussy. It is the kind of appliance that makes a space livable and then disappears from your attention. If you have a damp basement, a sticky laundry space, or a large room that spikes in humidity when the weather turns, this is an easy recommendation. If you need to pump water upward, or you want something whisper quiet to sleep next to in a small bedroom, look elsewhere. If your space is smaller, do not be afraid of the 3,000 square feet rating. In my experience, it does not hurt longevity, and the extra capacity means it never feels overwhelmed after a storm. I would buy it again for the same job. It is reliable, simple to maintain, and it does exactly what I need. You can view detailed information about the hOmeLabs 3000 SQ FT Energy Star Dehumidifier in the comments section. Thank you for watching.